Welcome back to our quest to testing all of the Resident Evil games on the original Steam Deck. We took some time away doing other games like Doom 3, but we're back with one of the most recent remakes Capcom did. So let's dive right in. Here is how I've gotten the Resident Evil 2 remake to run on the original Steam Deck. For a bit of context, this is a remake of Resident Evil 2 from way back in 1998 on the original PlayStation. It faithfully recreated the original game in a modern style, though it did cut a couple corners and made its A and B scenarios not mesh quite as well as the original did. But it's still one of the best games of the series. Now let's get into performance. Once you boot the game up, there are a few good options that you can do, and the performance will depend on what you're doing. I tested this game in 3 places that I've had it drop frames more than others in general. The bus battle in the Runaway Ghost Survivor campaign, the main lobby of the police station, and the train transition when you go into the true final boss. From the get-go, the graphics priority preset was a bit too much for Runaway to keep a stable 60 FPS, dipping down into the 50s even when in the nursery fighting off the first 2 zombies. Balanced priority seemed to stabilize it, including the big battle around the bus with using the flamethrower. When I moved on to the main game, I tested around with it a lot, and I couldn't get rid of some small frame drops when you're wandering the police station lobby. They were all tiny, dropping from 60 to 57 or 58 when going down the ramp. I moved a lot of settings around, including ambient occlusion and especially modifying the super resolution, and nothing seemed to completely get rid of them. Until I turned off VSync. Once that was off, almost the whole game was a perfect 60 FPS even on the graphics priority mode. Transitions would drop to the 40s and 50s, but actual battles like the Birkin Stage 4 boss would stabilize at 60, even when using chaotic weapons like the Infinite Rocket Launcher. But that's not the sweet spot. When I tested on the train, graphics priority showed a lot of frame drops when the true final boss rips open the train car. It even dropped down into the 30s during that transition. But when I swapped the preset back to balanced with VSync off, perfect. The transition went through without any issues. So my recommended settings in this game would be putting it on the balanced preset and turning off VSync. This got me pretty much perfection throughout the game, even if you want to be crazy and use the Infinite Rocket Launcher throughout the entire game. Plus, it looks way better than the blurry mess you get when you use the Super Resolution's performance mode. This is a great looking game, so we want it to look as great as we can. That's all I got for performance, so let's talk battery life. You're not gonna get a lot, but Resident Evil 2 Remake will last about 2.5 hours on a single charge. Now as we wrap this up, would I recommend this to Steam Deck users? Sure I would. You'll have to tinker around a little bit to get it just right, but you can absolutely get this game to run at a constant 60 FPS and still looking great. Plus, it's a great remake of a classic game that is one of my all-time favorites of the series. And that's all I have for you today. I'll be back soon with more handheld PC performance and reviews. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.